some reason and you have decided to start with our business, and right now with some reason. And okay, welcome everybody to our getting started training. Assuming that you have all checked out the business opportunity, you have decided with some reason and you have decided to start with our business, and right now we are going to help you get started with Nu Skin. And in today's training, we will talk about a few things. First, we're going to talk about the statistics of direct sales industry. That's where we're in. The second thing is the summary of the ways to distribute, how business works. And then we're going to talk about money from Nu Skin. And fourth, we're going to talk about the system and the flows and how the system work, how the flows work, and how what kind of step you need to do this business. Okay. So let's start with some statistics, shall we? So to start off, we are in the direct selling industry, and this industry is widespread all over the world. But in the United States alone, in 2018, the revenue is $35.4 billion. So that's a growth from 2017. So 35 billion is a lot of times people think, you know, is this selling? Is this cosmetics? Is this whatever they think, right? But the numbers don't lie. And in truth, we are an industry which in the United States alone is over $35 billion in revenue a year. And in this country, we have 6.2 million people doing businesses involved in direct selling. That's a huge number. I think somebody's lying is. Somebody's like, I'm going to mute all, and I will not allow anybody to unmute themselves. All right. And we start again. Okay. So in this country alone, we have 6.2 million people involved in the business, of which 1 million people are full-time and 5.2 million people are part-time. So that just goes to tell you that there's a lot of people all over the country doing this business. It's not just you and I. It's not just a few of us, but there's 6.2 million people actually doing this. And from that 6.2 million, we have more than 36.6 million customers all over the country, with people who are preferred customers, discount buyers, etc. But we have more than 36 million. So these statistics to show you that, hey, direct selling is a huge industry in this country. We're not talking about the world yet, but a lot of these numbers are similar across the world. So we are a big industry and you're in the right place, okay? And some demographics. Here in the United States, 75% of the people who are involved in direct sales in our network marketing industry are women. I don't know why, okay? And 25% are men. Some people say this is only for women. No, 25 of us are men, okay? 1/3 is men. 1/3 of, men is 25% and women are 75%. And Hispanics are 22% and non-Hispanics is roughly 78, 79%. Age-wise, under 25 years old is 6%. 25 to 34 years old, 19%. 35 to 44 years old are 26%. 45 to 54, 24%, etc. So you can look at these statistics. It goes to show that most of the people in this business are from 25 to 64 years old. But people start as early as 16, as 18, right? And people go well on to into their 80s and they're still in this business. So there is no discrimination there. And race-wise, 1% are American Indians. Well, yeah, because that population is small, right? Asians, 4%. African American, 8%. You know, Asian is 4%, 4. Sometimes because of give, a lot of times people ask me, is this a Vietnamese thing? Is this a Vietnamese company? Is this a Vietnamese thing, right? No, look at all the Asians. You know, 4% of Asians are in this industry. It's very small. I mean, of the people who are doing network marketing, only 4% are Asian. We're a tiny population. Others, 1%, but the white Caucasian is 85%. Huge demographics there. And so it goes to show that, hey, you know, anybody can do this business and it's open for everybody, okay? And indirect sales in the United States, the highest category of product is in the wellness. Wellness is for people who are for products related to taking care of your health, taking care of your skin. Wellness is overall wellness of your body. And then services and other financials, etc. Home and family care, durables, personal care, clothing are some other ones. But the highest is wellness. And Nu Skin is exactly where that is. Nu Skin is Nu Skin has products for health, for beauty, for basically overall wellness of a person. Old people, young people, average person, so for everybody, right? So we're in the right place, right time. And sales by state. Hey, it's showing that California and Texas are the states with the highest revenue for network marketing. We're not surprised, right? They have the highest population, they have the highest economy, the highest, the biggest economy. So that's why there's more sales there. It makes sense. But it's basically all over the country that network marketing or sales have reached. Okay. So here's another statistics. In 2020, there's a study, and they found that 77% of Americans are interested in flexible, entrepreneurial, and income earning opportunities. Surprised? No, not really. The world is changing. Back, if you're gonna ask 50 years ago, most people were just interested in having an 8-to-5 job. They just want to go to a job, a stable job, and come home with bread on the table for their family. But now the world is changing. People are wanting more flexibility. People want more freedom, more choices in life. They want to be able to spend time with their family. So more people are interested. 77%, huge population, huge percentage of our population are interested in flexible income earning opportunities. And the highest, of course, are among the younger generations, right? 91% of the Gen Xers, Gen Yers, and 88% of millennials are interested in something that we have. Isn't that interesting? And in those flexible income earning entrepreneur opportunities, there are two areas that people are interested. So direct sales is one of them. 79% of people are interested in what we have. And 81% are into the gig work. So gigs are like driving an Uber, or gigs are something you do on the side, like fixing somebody's house for a little bit, mowing the lawn, stuff like that, right? And so in our business, and in those gigs and direct sales opportunities out there, there are risks and requirements. For example, if you're gonna open a business, and let's say you open a franchise, something that's proven, something that's working, and they show you how to do it, but you have to pay franchise fees and licenses and location, rental, etc., right? And you're gonna invest $100,000 up to $1 million. And the risk is you may lose it all. So let's say you get a McDonald's franchise. How much does it cost? At least $1 million for a McDonald's franchise. And if you don't do very well with that franchise, you lose. And when you lose, you risk that $1 million. It's gone, right? So high risk, but there's a lot of requirements. Other gig works are like home rentals. People do Airbnbs. They rent out their home. They buy and they rent it out, or they do Airbnbs, etc. Well, that investment is $300,000 plus to get a house, right? And if something happens, yeah, you risk losing that house, and you risk losing if the rentals don't go right. Airbnbs, oh, imagine you're doing Airbnb, and nowadays nobody goes anywhere, so that's dead, right? So right now your Airbnb, that investment that you made for Airbnb somewhere, anywhere in the country, now it's dead. It's sitting there, interest is accruing, taxes accruing, and all these expenses with no income coming in. So you risk that you can lose a lot of money there, right? And other works are gig works. Let's say driving Uber. Yeah, you have to invest in a car. You have to auto loans, maintenance, insurance, gas, etc. So that car is $20K up to $40K. If something happens, you lose, and there's no refund on that depreciation. And maybe a realtor. How about a realtor? A realtor will require you to do some training, materials, membership fees, state costs, etc. So it'll cost you at least $1,000 to get started. And if anything happens, if you don't make any money, you lose that $1,000. Sure, right? How about Nu Skin or direct sales? Direct sales, a lot of companies, they do a startup kit. And this investment in startup kit is something very small, less than $100. but it's not even a requirement. Nu Skin does not require anybody to buy anything. So, and let's say that you do buy a kit for $100, and that's not, you can't lose it because it's a product that you use for yourself, that you can use for your home, that your family will have some need. And in direct sales, DSA members, if they can't sell it, if they can't use it, they can return it, and they only lose 10%. So that $100 package, you only lose $10. That's your risk of doing this business. That's why the direct sales industry, that's why direct selling is favorable, and it's attractive to people like you and I, right? That's why we're here, training and learning how to do this business. Okay. So in comparing, let's do some comparison between direct sales and some other companies. So let's say Nike, let's take Nike for example. Nike, their organization, the company has a CEO, they have presidents, they have market managers, they have sales directors, sales managers, and they have a workforce, right? Well, Nu Skin has the same thing. We have our CEO, Rich Wood, right? And we have presidents like Tyler Whitehead is taking care of all the West Side, meaning the United States, Canada, Central America, Europe, Australia. He takes care of all of that. So we have presidents who take care of different markets. Other presidents taking care of the China market, Southeast Asia markets are different, right? And market managers, each market has somebody to take care of it. I know Don Lovelace is taking care of a lot of the South America things right now. And then we have sales directors and sales managers and a workforce employees in our company. So Nike's org chart, Nu Skin's org chart, same thing, right? Same thing, similar. And well, what's the difference? Let me show you some more similarities between Nu Skin and Nike or any other company. There are a lot of more things in common. For example, R&D. All companies have R&D, a department for research and development, right? And we have science labs. Nike, believe it or not, they also have science labs because a lot of their products has to be also the science and the technology in there also, right? They have scientists, yeah, believe it or not. We have scientists. They have warehouses. We have warehouses. They have a compliance department, the lawyers working in it, when we have the same thing. They have manufacturing plants. Oh, we have the same thing, right? They have products and employees, and we also have products and employees. So in a business, running a business, Nu Skin business and Nike business are similar in those structures and what it takes to run the day-to-day operations of a business, right? True? So now what's the difference between somebody who's doing a regular business that we know of, like Nike, versus a company that's in direct sales like Nu Skin? Well, let me show you the difference. It's the difference in the way they distribute products. So where did you buy your Nike shoes? Through some kind of retailer, right? Maybe, I don't know, Macy's, JCPenney, some store somewhere. So Nike sells their products through retail shops, through retailers. So let's say you go to a shoe shop and you buy Nike shoes. Of course, they also sell Adidas and everything else. But Nike goes through all these retailers, and those retailers sell the products to us, the consumer. And for research shows, for whatever products that the retailers sell, they make at least 50% profit. Okay, so for example, you buy a pair of $100 pair of Nike shoes. Well, 50 bucks goes to the retailer already. The retailer has to do, they have to invest, they have to do everything, right? But they bring in $50, and then the other 50 they took from well, it goes back to Nike. Well, Nike does not make all that 50 bucks. They have to do transportation, everything else, advertising, etc. But Nike, through a lot of retail shops, sell the products to consumers like us, and 50% goes to the profit goes to the retailers. Well, Nu Skin, we have brand affiliates, and instead of doing retailers, we have brand affiliates everywhere. And these brand affiliates can be in whatever country. And what they do is they share the products with customers. And through this brand affiliates, customers, consumers like you and I buy the products from Nu Skin. And you see on the Nike side, 50% of the sales of that revenue goes to retailers. Well, in Nu Skin, 42% of that revenue goes to brand affiliates like you and I. So you see that comparison, how comparable they are? Very, very, very similar in a way, right? Well, let me show you how the compensation at Nu Skin works, how the money works. In Nu Skin, when you sign up, it's free to sign up. And when you sign up, you become something called the brand affiliate. Anybody can become a brand affiliate for free. Second, you have to be 18 years and older, of course, right? You have to be legal residents, etc. But pretty much anybody can start a business and become a brand affiliate with Nu Skin. And when as a brand affiliate, you get first of all, you can make sales, and when you make the sales, you make the retail profit of 30%. And when you share the products with other people, you get the sharing bonus, which can be from 5 to 15%. And you want to be, though, to get from brand affiliate to becoming an executive and a brand representative, that is. So for you to get there, you need 6,000 points. 6,000 points, and you have 6 months to do it. But highly recommend you take 2 or 3 months to become that brand representative. Some people become a brand rep in even just 1 month by having 6,000 points. And as a brand affiliate, you can make hundreds of dollars per month, okay? And mainly by just sharing products. Well, when you build a team, you become something called the brand representative after you get 6,000 points, okay? As a brand representative, you start making from 5 to 40% of your revenue. So the first 1,000, we go by blocks. So each block is $500. Each block is 500 points, right? But the first 1,000 points, which is for as a brand representative, you also make 5%. And then on the third block, that next 500 point, you make 10%. And on the fourth block is 15%, and it goes on. And by block number 16, you're making 40%. Okay, so as a brand representative, you're making from 5 to 40% of overall volume in your group. That's when you can make thousands of dollars. And when you become a brand representative, you start to make more money, right? And you have other people in your team. You have people who partner with you, franchises doing the business with you. Well, the thing is, they want to make a lot of money too. And the best way for them to do that is they become brand representative. So when you have one person directly in your group becoming a brand representative, you become a gold. When you have 2 or 3 people becoming brand reps, you become a lapis. When you have 4, you become a ruby. When you have 5, 4, and a ruby, and you have 1 strong leg, you become an emerald, and so on and so forth. So here in the leadership position, you're making tens of thousands of dollars. So imagine making $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, $40,000 a month. It's based on what you, the system that you work. It's based on how much effort you put in. But here is the compensation plan. So from a brand affiliate, starting a business from scratch, from zero, and building your business one step at a time to becoming a leader who starts making the amount of money that's based on how much you work, okay? Right, and here is the average income in our Nu Skin company. So as a brand representative, average they make for something less than, a little bit less than $500 a month. As a gold partner, you can make $900 a month. As a lapis, $1,500. A ruby, $2,700. You know what? A lot of people say, well, $500 a month, that's not a lot. Well, 900 is not, yeah, it's not a lot, but it's extra income. You're doing something on the side, something part-time to make $500, $600, $700, $800, $900 a month. Is that good? What can you do with $500 a month? Oh man, that pays for a car bill, right? That pays for a phone bill, insurance, electricity, water. Imagine if you don't ever have to pay for your water bill again because you have this $480 coming consistent with Nu Skin. Wouldn't that be great? And a lot of people say, hey, how about Ruby, $2,500? A lot of people are still part-time as a Ruby partner. Imagine making an extra $2,500. How would an extra $2,500 be an impact in your family? I think it's going to be a huge impact in many American families. Okay, and emeralds make 5,000, diamonds make 9, average. Blue diamond director and above make 40, 43,000 a month. When I looked at that as an engineer in the past, when I look at a number like this, I said, oh shoot, how can I ever, as an engineer, make half that much? Never. It would not happen unless I climbed the ladder up so high, past the director level, past the president, maybe the president level, CEO level. Oh man, and even if I climb up that, if I'm that good, I would have to spend so much time, so much effort to get there. And I look at that and said, no, I'm not gonna go that way. I'm gonna use the Nu Skin way so that I can become a Blue Diamond director, a team lead presidential director, so I can make the income that I can never imagine as an engineer, right? So let's imagine this is your store. So whatever store it is, right? When you become a brand representative with Nu Skin, imagine that you just open your store. And when you have a store, you have customers coming in, right? And of course, in order to open your store, you have to, certain things you have to do. You have to do rent, etc. But with Nu Skin, there's no rent. But with Nu Skin, you do 6,000 points. After 6,000 points, you have this ownership of a store, which means you become brand representative. And when you're in that store, any customers that come in, right, and other people who work for you, employees, etc., they come in to work for you and they serve as a customer. Well, here in the store, you make 5 to 40% of whatever volume, whatever revenue that store brings in, okay? And on top of it, if you sell to any retail customer, you make that 30% retail profit. So this is your store when you're a brand representative. So just keep that in mind, imagine, right? And if you don't have a store yet, you're an employee of somebody else's store. Just imagine that. If you're working in a store, your upline store, somebody who introduced it to you, imagine you come and like an intern in their store. And when as an intern, you don't make that 5 to 40% of their store. They're the owner, they make that. But you as an intern, when you sell a product, a retail product, the owner allows you to make that 30% retail profit. And that's great, right? So if you don't have a store yet, you make that 30% retail profit. And when you share with somebody, you bring in somebody to come into to work for that store also, another intern, you make 5% whenever they buy a product, okay? But when you have your own store, you start to make 5 to 40% of the commission of the whole store, okay? So imagine this is your franchise organization. It's you're making 5 to 40% commission and 30% retail profit on top of that in your store. Now you start to introduce somebody. Let's say you introduce your brother Joe, and then you introduce your friend Jason, and you introduce a coworker Natalie, and all these people are coming into it, and they start to do the work. They have their 6,000 points. They become brand representatives, so they start having these franchise stores. So imagine you have 6, okay? So each of those stores, Jason is making 5 to 40% commission in his own store. He's making 30% retail profit on whatever he sells outside of his store. And Natalie's doing the same thing. And for you, you're gonna make 5% of whatever these stores bring in, right? Because you have introduced them to franchise. This is totally different from what's out there. So imagine let's compare it to McDonald's. Let's say you have a lot of money. You open a McDonald's franchise, cost you $1 million. You open it and you make the money, right? All great. And all the franchise fees and all that goes to McDonald's. And you have a brother, Jason. You introduce Jason, you say, hey, it's great, Jason, you should come in. And Jason starts his McDonald's franchise, puts out $1 million. Jason starts to make a lot of money. Guess how much you make because you brought in Jason? 0, right? That's traditional franchise. But because of the way Nu Skin is structured, when Jason comes into Nu Skin and he has his own store and he starts to make income and revenue from that store, guess what? Nu Skin is paying you 5% of that override, of that commission from Jason's store, right? So you make 5% per store, okay? Isn't that cool? This is an amazing franchise structure. So, and now in a bigger scale, this is the global business organization. This is you. You have your 6, Jason, Natalie, they're all in there, right? And then Jason and Natalie and your 6 people, now there's like, oh, well, I have other people who want to make money. Let me introduce them to get into and open stores, Nu Skin stores, virtual stores, right? Because we don't have to pay any rent. We don't have to hire employees. But let me introduce some of my friends to come in so that they can open their stores, like me, because it's free to join. It's free to start a store, and they can make unlimited income potential. So why not? So, well, let's say those 6 start to introduce a few more, and those friends of friends start to introduce a few more, and it starts to expand. And here, you're going down, Nu Skin pays you 5% going down 6 generations. So when they're a store already, you call them generation. So Jason is 1, and then Jason's friend is 2, and then so on 3, 4, 5, 6. You make 5% from each store in 6 generations. And of course, you have to do, there are requirements for you to make before you make this 5% from all these stores. But that's 5% that you're gonna make from all these stores. McDonald's, you introduce Jason in, Jason opens a store, Jason brings in a lot of money for McDonald's, and how much do you make? 0. And then Jason brings in another brother, John. John comes in, John makes a lot of money. How much do you make? 0, right? But because of this, because you're linked, you are, when you do the business, you're linked to Jason, who's linked to John, who's linked to whoever else. Well, Nu Skin's gonna pay you 5%, 6 generations, okay, from each of those stores. So imagine this, you bring 6 people in, Jason, Natalie included. And then these 6 people, each person brings in 2 other people who open stores. So now we have 12. And these 12, each piece of people help 2 more friends to create a store. So now you have 24, and then 48, 96, 192, okay? Imagine each store does 3,000 points in revenue. 3,000 is about $3,300 worth in the US of revenue. So 3,000 points in revenue per store. So yeah, as a store, is it a requirement for each store to do 3,000? No, it's not. Nu Skin does not require you to do anything, okay? But when you get the 3,000 points, you get to make the 5%. You get to make the commission. And of course, for your friends, the owners of the store, you included, you get the 5 to 40% that you still make, right? But you also make this 5% from 6 generations. So imagine each store doing 3,000 points. So the people that you directly sponsor, those people who has the stores, they have 18K in revenue. And then the second group has 36, and then 72, 144K, 288K, 576K, okay? So imagine this. You add them all up together, it becomes 1.134 million in revenue. Dollars, points, you know. And imagine you make, don't imagine, because you do make 5% of that volume. That's $56,000 that month. Guess what? Next month, each store is gonna go and make their sales, do their business. They're gonna have another 3,000 points. Sometimes these stores will go 6,000, 8,000. They're gonna grow, right? And so that revenue that comes in, you make 5%, and that's 56K. So that's how much you can make. And of course, you can have more stores than this number, but you can have less, right? Imagine if you're having half of this. Hey, 25K, 28K a month is not bad. As an engineer, I would never, ever be able to dream of that number, okay? So now we go a little bit back into Nu Skin. Why is Nu Skin doing this? And what is Nu Skin's vision? Who is Nu Skin? Well, you guys can read this with me. But Nu Skin, this is Nu Skin's purpose statement. You can see it on their website. Our mission is to be a force for good throughout the world by empowering people to improve lives with rewarding business opportunities, innovative products, and an enriching, uplifting culture. Our vision is to become the world's leading business opportunity